So this is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Raesse Aleem, newly crowned WBA Interim super-bantamweight champion. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I can imagine. Not far removed from a great victory over Vic Pasillas, of course. Dominant victory, late stoppage, but in charge throughout the fight. What did you make of it? Was it kind of more comfortable than you were anticipating?
Uh, great fight. I did some things that I'm not necessarily proud of. Like we ended up going 11 rounds, and I know I could have stopped him sooner. So I don't want to say it's an experience thing. I have a lot of experience. It's just I let the beast get away from me a little bit. I was surprised when I dropped him in the second. Threw a hard shot, but beautiful timing. Caught him right on the money. And right then and there, I knew I could hurt him. And I kind of pushed the issue a little bit more than what I wanted to. But still a great fight. I haven't watched it yet, but we'll see.
It's hard for a lot of fighters to get activity at the moment with COVID-19 and so on and so forth. But you really made the most of your opportunity, and it was on Showtime, of course, in the US. You must be pretty pleased that you gave such a good performance with everyone watching.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just to be a part of Showtime, first fight of the year, to fight on that platform, and then to also win. I'm extremely fortunate and blessed. Like you said, a lot of fighters are lucky to fight nowadays and stuff. You have to be ready, and I'm just very grateful.
And I believe you've got a pretty interesting backstory as well. Originally grew up in Michigan, but a few years ago decided to pack everything up and move to Las Vegas with not a great deal of money to set yourself up, but with a dream, I suppose. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it was extremely hard. Originally from Muskegon, Michigan. My career went stagnant, went like 2.5 years without a fight, but I stayed in the gym. I was training, just nothing. I couldn't catch a break. And I just knew I had to do something. So with the money that I did have, I made a plan. I moved to Las Vegas. I trained myself for a year and a half. I hit the ground running. Vegas is Sin City. You can, turn up any day of the week and have a ball. But I didn't get caught up in the Vegas lifestyle. It was all about business. I had an opportunity to fight an active, undefeated fighter coming off a knockout victory. I took that fight, dropped him in the first round, dominated every round, almost stopped him. And that started the domino effect.
And what was the kind of trigger for moving to Las Vegas initially? Because there's lots of great fight cities in the US, of course. Why was Las Vegas the place to go?
Well, Nonito Donaire had flew me out for a training camp of his, and it was out in Vegas. It was a great camp, good work, and I just something clicked. It's like if I'm going to continue to box, I got to move to Vegas. I'm just seeing all the different fighters in the gym and different sparring and whatnot. Being from a small town in Michigan, it's hard getting sparring. We used to have to travel around, going to Chicago, Ohio, Detroit, hours away. And, we would only be able to be there for like 2 days. So, and then we go and then I beat the guys up and then we're coming right back. And it's like, damn. But living in Vegas, it's just every day. Former world champions, current world champions, young prospects in and off the gyms. It's been a long, hard road, but it's all been worth it.
And tell us a bit about growing up back in Michigan. When did you first get into boxing?
So I started boxing when I was like 14. I got my black belt in karate. Played a few different sports, but it was kind of like what's next. So my dad took me to the boxing gym. I was naturally good when I first started, I guess because I already know how to fight. And I just stuck with it. I met my original trainer, Terry Markowski. He taught me the basics. He would take me places to travel and everything. And that's how it all started.
I believe Terry Markowski was a big influence in your life, not just in the boxing gym. Just tell us a bit more about him, if you don't mind.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Terry Markowski. At one point in time, I just didn't want to let him down, so I just kept training and going hard. And when there was no fights going on, we would still travel. Like, I couldn't get a fight, but we would go to Ohio. And then, I would spar some really good active fighters and I'd beat them up. And, you know, that was like, okay, well, I know that I can do this at a high level. I'm just not getting an opportunity, you know. But Terry is he's like a father figure to me. Me and my dad, I don't know, like we don't have a relationship. You know, we haven't for like most of my adult life. Terry's pretty much filled that void. It's real easy to get pulled into different type of situations. I mean, because this is life. But no matter what was going on, good, bad, in between, I've always had Terry by my side. He's always believed in me. And yeah, you know, he's just been a big part of my career.
You mentioned you don't have a relationship with your father now, but as you said earlier, he was the first person to take you to the gym. So I suppose there is that. You'll always owe him that, if nothing else, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, he was a great dad. He just went about things the wrong way. You know, he was like, let's say, more of a drill sergeant. You know, physically abusive, mentally abusive. You know, but his excuse was that we're black belts, so you know he can beat our ass or whatever. And it's like, oh, you're a black belt, so who cares?
That sounds pretty tough, to be fair. I mean, you seem a very level-headed, like happy guy now, but it sounds like a tough childhood.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it was a traumatic childhood. It was, you know, every day was hell. You know, what 7, 8 year olds, you know, go to sleep early because their dad comes home. You know, it's 7, 8 o'clock at night, and we're pretending like we're asleep. But you know, but it is what it is. Like ultimately, that made me the man that I am today. I have no ill will, hard feelings. It's life. I only worry about things that I can control.
And you know, in Vegas, you mentioned you get world-class sparring on a regular basis, as you would expect from there. Tell us some of the people you've sparred who potentially, impressed you the most, or who you've learned the most being in the ring with.
Well, you know, again, Nonito Donaire, I've sparred him a bunch. Jesse Magladeno, I've sparred him a bunch, and he actually helped me, prepare for this fight. Um, Chop Cool, Corley, sparred him. Man, I've sparred a lot, a lot of different people. Uh, I can't even think of any right off the top of my head right now. There's just a bunch though, you know. Yeah, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm glad to be here to be a part of that sparring.
Looking at how dominant you've been in your pro career so far, are you still at a stage, even though you've won an interim world title, are you still at a stage where you're learning more in the sparring ring than you are in competitive action?
Um, well, in this game, in this sport, you know, you'll learn every step of the way. You know, you'll continue to learn, continue to grow. I feel like this is the first time in my career to where I've been active, you know, and I feel like that was the missing piece. You know, that is I'm getting better more so from fighting than in sparring. Like sparring, I'm learning a lot and I'm getting better in sparring. But I feel like it's more so when I actually get in there and fight, you know, because it's like maybe I throw certain punches or do certain things in sparring term. I'm like, okay, I don't think I can get away with that in a real fight.
Sure.
But then I do it in a real fight and I execute it perfectly. And I'm like, shit, that works, you know? So sometimes it's trial and error, but I think just by being active, I've grown tremendously.
And what's the plan from now for you? Obviously, it's hard to plan anything with COVID still running rampant, but the WBA has, what, three world champions, including yourself, at super bantamweight at the moment. You've got Brandon Figueroa, of course, who is the world champion, and then Murodjon Akhmadaliev, who's the super champion. Are you targeting one of those guys? I saw you had quite ranking for one of the other governing bodies as well, although that may now change. Now you've got the interim belt. What's your path?
Well, you know, I'm looking probably 4 to 5 months get back into the ring. I would love a fight with Akhmadaliev. He has a super belt and he has two of the belts. Like, you know, that is a fight that I would absolutely love. I love the matchup. But honestly, any current world champion, it could be Brandon Figueroa. I'd take his belt. I believe I win. Lewis Nery, I win that fight. And even Stephen Fulton, who put on a great performance against Angelo Leo.
And what about weight-wise? How comfortable, if that's even the right word, are you at the weight right now? And do you see yourself going up in the future?
Well, it's always a struggle to make weight. But one thing about me is like, hey, I keep it professional. I'm not gonna be cutting weight the day of weigh-ins. I'm gonna make sure I'm already on weight and just ready to go. But it is a struggle. The ultimate goal is to move up. I won't always be at 22. I just have to win the world title at 22 and defend it. Once I win it and defend it, then I can explore other options to move up and whatnot.
And tell us a little bit about your life outside of the ring and the gym. What do you get up to when you're not training? And do you live on your own in Vegas? How does that work?
Yeah. I live on my own. I try not to get caught up in the Vegas lifestyle, but I love to have fun when I can. You got to be able to step out and have some fun. Right now, it's a little difficult with COVID going on.
Of course.
I have a daughter that lives in Florida, so I'm going to be going out there to spend some time with her, and that'll probably be the highlight. I'll spend some time with her, have some fun, and then I'll get back here and back on the grind, get back in the lab and start working on things.
I can imagine, given the upbringing that you endured, when you're with your daughter, I bet you spoil her massively.
Oh yeah, for sure. She's a good girl, but yeah, I definitely spoil her and everything like that.
That's good to hear. Always really appreciate you joining us on Seconds Out, and we hope we can speak to you again, perhaps when you've got your next fight date lined up.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure we can make that happen, and yeah, till next time.
Oh, before I let you go as well, just tell people out there how they can find you and hit you up on social media.
You can find me on Instagram at Raesse Aleem Boxing. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be more active on there. Put some workout videos and hitting the mitts and just stuff like that. Because for this fight with COVID going on and just everything, I just been low key because I knew something big was coming next.
Great stuff. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to check that out. So best of luck with the next few months, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.